Hello, happy Thursday, everybody. Hope you're having a good week this week. Today I have two beautiful cards to share with you featuring the Snowflake Magic DSP, and you guys are going to love them. It's so pretty. My name is Lori DeGroot from Lorita Marie Crafts, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Calgary, Alberta. And I like to come live here on Thursdays so that I can give you fun tips, techniques, inspiration, ideas for you to take your paper crafting supplies and turn them into beautiful projects. This week I have been cutting paper like crazy for my Christmas Stamp-A-Stack. It's like you always think your cards are simple until you have to cut multiples of them. And so this is one of the fun things that I like to do is create card kits for you guys. So you don't have to fuss with maybe all the cutting and you just get the fun of like putting it together. So So about twice a month, I've got different card kits for you guys that you can earn for free if you place an order. And I also have a card class once a month that you guys can come to, or that you can order to go if you can't make it or you don't live in Calgary. I can ship it to anywhere in Canada. So this month's class, or the next class, is going to be on November the 1st. And deadline to sign up is next Wednesday. And if you would like to come, you can purchase one of my card kits. So the one to purchase now is this Joy of Christmas one. And so you would be making these two cards, 6 altogether, so 3 of each. Or you could grab one of Stampin' Up's kits. And so there's a few Christmas ones. There's the new Countdown kit, which I just got, and I'm excited to play with it and create something for you. And there's also the Christmas Everywhere kit, plus there's also lots of non-Christmassy things that you could choose from. So the link to sign up is on my website, but I'll post it here too, that if you'd like to come. So if you'd like to come in person, I would love to see you. But if not, I can ship it to anywhere in Canada. And so the cards that I'm making this week are going to be turning into my next card kit that you can earn for free or that you can purchase as well. And I just want to make sure that's all I wanted to say. So you guys are going to love this paper. I think it's like a hidden gem in the catalog. You know, sometimes you're focused on sweets and bundles, and this isn't a sweet, but sometimes those little extra products kind of get lost. So I'm going to point you down to show you the magic of this paper. And that color is very pink. What happened to my color? Whoa! Wow, that is really pink. I don't know what's going on. Now I can't show you the magic of the paper. What do I want to do here? That's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen my camera do that. So what am I going to do? Okay, we're going to take it off, and then I'm going to bring this. Curious. Okay, is this any better? Oh, it's already on. I'm gonna just remove this from. No, that doesn't work. There's got to be a way to make this work, right? You guys. Okay, I think I'm gonna log out of my video. Or maybe not. Let's see if this works. I thank you for bearing with me right now. We had a pink camera issue. It's still showing up pink here. Why? And now I can't get. I feel like a beginner. I feel like okay, what is happening? You get to watch me play around. Okay. I've got it landscape now. All right, we're just gonna have to go with it. It's still, oh my goodness. Can we create this way? I'm going a little crazy. There we go. Okay, if you have survived this long, I thank you. Look at that. It's the paper. It's adjusting for the paper. I fussed all that. Interesting. Yep, it's the paper. Okay, I'm going to come here. I want to show you the colors of this paper. So I don't know why the camera adjusts for the blue. It's like it can't see it. So you guys are going to need to get it in person so that you can see how awesome it is. And we're just going to go ahead and start. And so this is the joy of a live video, and I thank you for your patience with me. That's not exactly how I wanted to start today, but that might just be how it goes. You know, you have one of those weeks that are so busy. I'm not used to like a crazy busy schedule, and this week there's a lot of things going on. And I think it's making me kind of flustered. Okay, we're going to make 2 cards. The first one, I'm going to use a Pretty Peacock card base. And when I make a card base, maybe if you're newer, you just take an 8.5 by 11 piece, cut it in half at 5.5. And then you can score it in half at 4 1/4. So Stampin' Up's paper trimmer has a cutting blade and a scoring blade all on the same thing. And so you don't have to fuss with it. And so that's the card base. And then we're going to take Pool Party and we're going to create a mat, and the colors are just insane today. And I'm so sorry that everything is turning pink. Does my light help? No. Anybody have any color tips out there? We're going to cut it to 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, and I'm also going to use this on my next card. So I'm going to cut another one at 4. So I can just save that. So when you're doing that, it's a perfect mat for the card front, and then you get 4 pieces out of 1 sheet of cardstock. Okay, so we've got our Pool Party, we've got our Pretty Peacock, and we're going to do something kind of fun. So in the annual catalog is a returning favorite from last year's holiday catalog, which is called the Labels Aglow dies. And they're really fun because they kind of have like this little peekaboo effect with them, right? So that you can kind of see through them. So I'm going to be using a couple of these dies today. And so I love this one. And so it doesn't actually cut out, it just cuts out the dots. So we need to combine it with another die to cut it out. So I'm going to pair this with the Stylish Shapes dies, which are circles and squares and banner shapes. Oh, I need to go one more down here. Let's just make sure I got the right one. Yeah, so it is the 3rd largest, or 3rd smallest, I guess, is what I want to say. And so we're going to use my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine to cut out that circle. And I'll show you what I mean here in a second. Let's just create some space. Okay, so we'll grab the machine. And so we need platforms 1, 2, and 3. And I've been getting a lot of use out of it this week. I've got a piece of basic white that is cut to 3.5 by 4. And then I'm going to take this awesome shape here and I'm going to put it in the middle. And like I said, it only has cutting blades for the little dots, so it won't. So if you wanted to just cut out the dots and then it's like a fun peekaboo effect behind, you would just use the die as is. I'm going to add this circle inside so I can cut out a hole in the middle. So we'll just run that through. And then move this out of the way. Okay. So we can see we cut out that middle and then it's got all those little dots. And if you want to just brush them out, you can get this little mat. And this is an old one, but you can get the head that goes with the Take Your Pick tool. And you just run it across and the little bristles are going to go into all the little holes for you. I want all of them poked out here. So that should work. Let me show you this in the catalog in case you don't have one of those. Page 153 here, you'll see take your, number 4, take your pick, die, brush, tip. So it will go as an attachment onto your tool here, and then you also get 2 of the foam pads because they do kind of wear out after a while, so you get 2 of these. And then that's awesome, just a way to help you with your die cutting. So that's the fussiest thing that we got to do. And then we're going to take a piece of that amazing Snowflake DSP, which, see, that looks good. It just needs smaller pieces of it. So this is 3 by 3 because I want to tuck it in behind, and then we can see it behind. So what I'm going to do is put a little adhesive kind of on the 4 corners here. And then we can lay our piece on top. And it's not going to get every hole just perfect, but I like to cut my paper in a size that makes sense to get multiples out of it. So 3 by 3 makes sense so that I can get lots out of one sheet of paper. So I don't mind that those couple little holes are showing because you won't even notice on the card. And then we're just going to put this onto the pool party. And we're going to center it. And then we'll put this on the card front. All right. And all these colors look really good together. I think I need to change my cutting blade there. So Lost Lagoon is the color of the DSP, but you'll see that that looks good with Pretty Peacock. It looks good with Pool Party. They all have the same tones that you can use together. So like I'm going to use, my sentiment is going to be on Lost Lagoon. And so all these colors look really nice together. So I've cut this out with the die from that Labels Aglow dies. And we're going to do some embossing. So I'm going to use the Brightest Glow stamp set, which is the one that goes with these dies. I'm going to stamp the Happy Holidays in it because it fits just perfect on this sentiment. And we'll just grab our embossing stuff. So I'm going to use white embossing powder. I'm going to use my little embossing buddies. It just helps resist extra powder where you don't want it to go. Grab your Versamark and then ink it up. And I just line up my stamp with my grid sheet, and then I can stamp pretty straight. And then we'll shake on our powder. And this tray is awesome because it just keeps everything there. And so that's pretty good. Just move that out of the way for a second. Don't let your Versamark dry out, so I always put my lid on right away. And then we've got these great little tongs that can help you hold it when it's a little piece like this. It all comes together with the embossing kit. And then I'm going to use my heat tool to heat set this. So it just takes a second. Once it starts turning, you know that it's set. It's all shiny. There we go. And if you don't want to emboss, you could stamp on here in, I would say Pretty Peacock, and that will stamp nice on the Lost Lagoon. Now we're just going to get a few other little details in here. So I saw on the catalog with kind of that wintry sweet, which is where the snowflake paper is from. They paired garden green in there, and I wasn't sure, but I like the little bit of, I don't know, like warmth or just different tone that the green brings to all the blues. And so I just kind of want to add a little bit of it. So I'm going to use the bow punch here, and I'm going to just punch out the bigger ones in garden green. And I'm going to grab some glue dots and we'll put on the back of the bottom there. And then just so it's not floppy on the card, I'm going to put one on the top too. There we go. Pull that off. And then I'm going to have this kind of like here. So let me just eyeball it a little bit. So we'll put one here and one down there. That looks good. And then we're going to add a bit of silver, which always looks good with blue. And we're going to grab this fun ribbon here, which is an online only exclusive. And it comes in gold and silver. So you get a spool of each. I'm going to trim that to 7 inches. If I can find some scissors. There they are. You know, even when you just clean your craft desk, it's still hard to find everything. So this ribbon actually has 2 sides. So one has kind of like a little bit of white in there, and one is like just all silver. The other side is all silver, I'm trying to say. And I'm just going to stick it in a glue dot again and put it over top there. And then we'll grab our dimensionals and put one on each end of our sentiment. And then we just need some embellishments. Now, I know embellishments are hard to come by right now. They were obviously ridiculously popular. So they're waiting for some more to come in stock. So I've been suggesting this for a while because it's kind of in the annual catalog, which you might not notice, but it's the Festive Pearls. And you can't see at the top here, but it's Cherry Cobbler. Now it's got Soft Succulent, which is a retired color. But you know what? Soft Succulent looks perfect with these colors, because I was trying to think what do I want to use the Soft Succulent ones for? So, and there's silver and gold, but they're going to look great with Pool Party, Lost Lagoon. They look awesome. And so I'm going to put a few of these on this card. Oops. There we go. And we'll just do 3. This is our first card, just featuring obviously a little hint of that snowflake paper, but the sparkle is really pretty. So I think you can see it in there. And it's a fun way to use those Labels of Glow dies. Maybe you bought them last year, or maybe you haven't seen them before, but they're really fun. They're really good to like picture that like dazzle paper, that Bedazzle I think it's called, or any of our glimmer paper, and I think you're going to really love it. So that's the first card. Now for our second one, we are going to grab a basic white card base, and then we're going to use that piece of Pool Party that we cut. So this was cut to 5 1/4 by 4, and we can just go ahead and put this on. And this one is a nice simple layout that you can use. And I was thinking these don't necessarily even have to be Christmas cards or holiday cards, but it could be for any kind of occasion that's coming up in the winter. Birthdays, if you want to send thank yous, anything like that. And then what you want to do is we're just going to cut 1-inch strips of the paper. So I'm just going to cut one to show you. It's going to turn my camera red again, isn't it? We'll see. So what you want to do is 1-inch strips. Just catching all the light. So there's this one here, right? So it's really beautiful. And then we want 3 1/2 inches long. And so we want 2 of those. And then that same paper that we used on the last card with those nice, big, beautiful snowflakes, we're going to cut 2 of those. Let's try to show you again here. So that's that paper there that the camera doesn't like. And then this is the third sheet. I'm not sure I showed it all the way, but it's just like silver and white. So it's a good accent into what you're doing. So I only want one of those. So we're going to use 5 strips, and we're just going to put seal on all 5. And we're just going to put them on kind of like loosely and a little bit askew. That makes sense. And you can make them straight. If them being like off drives you crazy, you can line these up all straight. And then if you don't push down, you'll be able to kind of move them to where you want. But I want them to be a little crooked. And I want the white one to be in the front. So something like that. I mean, you can't go wrong. However you want to put them on, that's good. And then we're going to put a nice big sentiment in the middle. So I'm going to use the Nested Essentials dies here. And so I cut out the second smallest shape there in Lost Lagoon again. So if you, again, you don't want to emboss, then you can just stamp in a darker color. So like Pretty Peacock would stamp good, like I said before. So I'm going to use the same stamp set, Brightest Glow, which is in the annual catalog. And I'm going to stamp Merry Christmas, and we're going to heat emboss it again. So again, I suggest to kind of use your embossing buddy. Don't go too crazy with it, but just rub it on like so. Grab your Versamark. And we'll ink that. And we're going to do it in white again. This is why I like the tray. I can leave my powder in a big mess. And I can emboss lots of things and just clean it up at the end when I'm all done. All right, because I use the embossing buddy, nothing is sticking where I don't want it to, so that turned out good. Move that out of the way, grab our little tongs again, and then we're going to use our heat tool for this one too. Just get it going. I would probably emboss all my sentiments, really, if I could. It's just fancy. Okay. And then we don't want to make this too fussy. We're just going to add some ribbon behind it. So there is this amazing Lost Lagoon ribbon, which is going to go perfect. This is from the annual catalog. What's it called? Lost Lagoon bordered ribbon. And we want about 9 inches of that. Okay, and we're going to put it at an angle. And when it comes to the ribbon on your card, however you like to put it on, you'll notice that people just kind of find a style of ribbon that they like how they like to put it on their projects, and they do it the same every time. So just find a way that you like to put it on yours. If you prefer bows, then I would just tie bows. If you like this kind of back and forth, I'm going to use this silver twine that I always use. This is the Simply Elegant trim. Comes in gold and silver again, and is, I think, essential for your holiday crafting. I use it all the time on Christmas time. And then I'm going to tie a bow with kind of really big tails. And this ribbon or twine is super slippery, and I find bows don't stay that great. And so I suggest you put the knot right into a glue dot, and that's going to hold your bow together. And what I want is the bow to kind of stick out the top and have the tails come down, kind of like so. And then we'll put more dimensionals on, which I lost already. Okay, that's impressive. Okay, how far could they go in 1 minute? Far, apparently. So let's grab a sheet. Oh, I don't even have one. I've got some ends here. It's all good. Just use the ends. And I'm going to put 4 on. And then that is it. So this would be a great card for Christmas to make multiples of. And however you want your tails to hang off. And then we'll go ahead and grab those lovely pearls again because they're just the right color. And I'll put one down here. And like so. And that's our second card. All done already. So these layouts are not too hard to put together. And there's our second one. So thank you for your patience at the beginning. If you watched it or you just skipped it, that's probably good too. So these are our 2 cards, which are my Snowflake Magic card kit that's available right now when you place an order with my host code for over $60. I will send you this lovely card kit in the mail for you to make these as well. And let's just bring you back up. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope I gave you some ideas, maybe some layouts. Remember, you can always just take whatever kind of stood out to you. So if it was the layout, if it was the color combo, if it was the embossing, I hope that you found something that you can take and use in your own card making. And I will be back again next week with another fun card that I can't wait to share with you. And yeah, thanks again for your patience with me this week. If you have any questions, you can always contact me or find me at loritamariecrafts.ca. Thank you. Bye-bye.